Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dusty Wright with the Wright Team, Keller Williams Realty St. George. Hey, real quick, wanted to give you a market update. We've had a lot of people asking what's going on with the market, with what's going on with interest rates. So we put together some Washington County market statistics and like to share those with you. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory, but I thought I'd just kind of walk you through real quick. The big one this year versus last year is the average sold to list ratio, 94.8 versus 98.3. And then the number of homes under contract, this is just residential homes in Washington County. The month of October of this year was 244 versus October of 21 was 436. And then another big change here is the number of listings, 1,394 versus 766. Interestingly, though, that 1,394 is what it was back in 2019 when it was more of just a balanced market, just for your information. And then this next slide is the interest rate update. Last month in October, it was about 7.05%. You can see last year, the average throughout the whole year was 2.96. So there's a pretty significant difference there. Of course, with that interest rate increase, it's definitely putting some downward pressure on our prices here in Washington County. And then this next slide is to help people understand the difference of like 08 versus now. Back in 08, we had a housing crisis and it was real estate related. And you can see by the number of foreclosures and notices of default. A notice of default, you're probably familiar, but basically that's just an issue. That's something that's issued to a borrower if they're more than 30 days late on their mortgage. And then the trustee's deed or foreclosure is if they don't make up that default payment. And then after 90 days, the bank can issue a notice of foreclosure. And then typically within a couple months of that notice, the home will actually go to a foreclosure at an auction. And you can kind of see back in 08 and 09 and 2012, how many more of those notices of default and actual foreclosures there were versus the last several years here. We're just not getting any, right? That's not to say that it can't change, but it's not looking likely at this point. And a lot of the reason why is because so many people have so much more equity in their homes these days versus back then. And then the lot sales, we're tracking the lot sales. You can see here, the lot sales this year versus last year is down pretty significantly. For the first part of the year, a lot of that was just because there wasn't very many lots to buy. And then we have the platted lots by month. So this is when you can see here with all the demand the last couple of years, there's been more and more people platting lots and the trend is up. So back in 2015, there were 1,627 platted lots for the entire year and 1,896 in 2019. So you can see we're quite a bit higher on our platted lots. Now with the demand shifting and the interest rate so high, it'll be interesting to see if these platted lots actually get built or not, or if the developers will kind of just pull back and let's see what happens with the market. This is another slide about the lot sales by year, going back to 2018. You can see where we are this year. And then this is the permits by month. So the building permits in Washington County, this is residential only. You can see 2021, we had 3,059. So far through the end of September of 2022, we were at 1,981. And that's kind of going on a downward trend as well. And then this one was a fun slide. We're able to track down what the permits were all the way back to 2002. So going back 20 years, you can see that we maxed out in 2005 at 3,479. I thought maybe last year would be the max at 3,050, but it was 3,059. So anyway, that's a quick market update. Things are definitely shifting. There's downward pressure on pricing with the interest rates increasing, but there's still demand. There's still people moving here. Washington County is a beautiful place and people aren't going to stop moving here. So thanks for watching. Feel free to give us a call, send us a text, send us an email if you have any questions or want to talk any more about these numbers. Thanks again.